गणानां त्वा गणपतिं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमस्यवत्तमम् ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पत आनः शृण्वन्नोतिभिः ॐ श्रीमहागणाधिपतये नमः। ॐ वृषभं दर्शनीनां विश्वरूपमदाभ्यं बृहस्पतिं वरेण्यं ॐ तद्विष्णोः परमं पदं सदा पश्यन्ति सूरयः दिवीव चक्षुराततम्। ॐ श्रीं ह्रीं महालक्ष्म्यै नमः। ॐ श्रीं ह्रीं ज्योतिर्ब्राह्माय नमः। Everybody repeat after me. Hare Ramakrishna 3 times. Om Hare Ramakrishna, Hare Ramakrishna, Hare Ramakrishna. Okay. Today will be a practical class. Not that other classes are theoretical classes, but as far as you are concerned, those are theoretical classes. But today, this will be a class where you will be helping somebody basically. A hypothetical person. I will be that hypothetical person who comes to you for help, and you will be helping that person. You will be basically giving advice to that person. So I want to see how much you have learned. And basically there is no feedback from you. Of course, you keep asking questions, but I don't really know if you are practicing all this on some of your friends or family members or relatives or your colleagues, and then learning from that experience or not. So basically I will provide you some experience, and don't be tense. If you are wrong, it's fine. It's actually the main problem that most people who are learning astrology face is they are afraid of being wrong. And as long as you are afraid of being wrong, you will never reach perfection. Not only perfection, you will never basically improve. So in order to improve, you have to make a lot of bad predictions. Unless you make, let me put it this way, unless you make 200 bad predictions, you will not be a good astrologer. All good astrologers must have made at least 200 bad predictions earlier. So start early, make those 200 bad predictions early, so that you can become a good astrologer. So that will be my advice to you. So make sure that you are putting whatever you learn to test. And also the thing is, I have taught so many techniques, but you will find affinity to certain techniques based on what you have, your past life connections. Some techniques may be more workable for you. So you have to find your expertise, your niche, your affinity, etc. And that comes only with practice. So you must, even if you are busy and don't have a lot of time, you must make it a habit to see a few charts at least every week. At least a few charts. Have a budget. Every week I will see 1 chart, or every week I will see 5 charts. Like that, keep a target. And if somebody asks for help, or if you don't have any friends or relatives or other people who come to you, just go to a Yahoo group like Vedic Astrology. There are so many mails there. So many people ask, what is going to happen to me? I want to get married. I'm in love with a boy, but my parents say no, what will happen? Like that. Or somebody says, I'm out of job, when will I find job? Like that. There will be so many requests on Vedic Astrology Yahoo group. It doesn't hurt to just try and send a reply to that person. So try to put what you learn to practice. And in this class, 1 second, let me change the language. For me? You are discussing an example, sir. That will be very good. Give me the data. Oh yeah, we'll do that. So give me the data. September? Yeah. 1955. Yeah. 1730. Okay. Oh, Machilipatnam. Maur, somebody from our town. Huh? Oh, you are born in Machilipatnam? Oh, were you brought up in Machilipatnam or did you leave the place? At least you are born in Machilipatnam. I was born there. Sri Kendra was also born in the same town. So usually good astrologers are born in Navamsha.
I like to hear that.
Okay. Let me save the chart. You write E or I? C. Huh? Does the chart look right? 1 degree 33 minute Aquarius Lagna. Okay, the data is September 1, 1955, 5:30 p.m. Indian Standard Time, Machilipatnam, India. Everybody should know the longitude and latitude of Machilipatnam. 81 degrees 8 minutes east, 16 degrees 10 minutes north. Okay, so what were you guys discussing? Font, yes, sure. So what were you discussing?
I was explaining my problem actually. Last 1 year,
Yeah.
I've been facing some at work. I'm not comfortable. My boss is not happy and I'm not feeling it. I was going on the last 1 year.
Yeah.
December 2004.
Okay.
Last week.
Okay.
And last week, I was told, we are not happy, we will let you go.
Mm-hmm.
For 1 month time.
Mm-hmm.
And if you show some improvement, we can keep you.
Mm-hmm.
But that they give some time and I'm supposed to work on that.
Mm-hmm.
I was telling Narayan that if they say yes, okay, I will take you, you will work really hard,
Yeah.
I don't want to stay. So I just want to see, we just discuss the festival.
Yeah.
I want to see what is my future going to be, whether continue there, I don't want to continue there, may not continue, that kind of thing.
Okay. So he has a question about career. So imagine that you are an astrologer and he is a client basically. He came to you and he asked you, I wasn't happy in my career in the last 1 year. I wasn't happy and I wasn't happy with my company and boss, and my boss wasn't happy. And a week back they told him that he has to show some improvement, otherwise they will let him go. So basically he has around a month or so. And even if they want to actually keep him, he is not interested. He does not like the work and like the place or like the boss. So he wants to know what is his scope. Like, do you have any specific goal, specific target? Like, do you want to start a business or find another job or just retire, or what do you want? Another job. So he wants to find another job, and he wants to know if the time is good for finding a job. Apart from astrology, common sense advice would be, if you want to look for a job, don't start after a month, but start now. That would be a common sense advice. But now, of course, sometimes you can just give common sense advice and get away with it. But let us also look at astrology here. So let us see. Before we see that, we will read the Nakshatra Suppan. Vijay reminded that we did not do it today. So we have finished up to Pushyami, and we will do Ashlesha and Magha today. So the first mantra is this is the mantra for Ashlesha Nakshatra. This is actually the mantra for Sarpa Devata, the snake god, as the rulers of the Ashlesha star. Om Idam Sarpebhyo Havirattu Juttam Ashlesha Yesha Manujanti Cheta Ye Antariksham Prithivim Kriyanti Tena Sarpato Havamagamishtha Ye Rojane Suryasyapi Sarpa Ye Divam Devi Manusancharanti Ye Shama Shresha Anujanti Kamam Tebhya Sarpebhyo Madhumachyuhomi. Om. Now we will do mantra for Magha. Upahuta pitaro ye Maghatu Manojava Sukruta Sukrutya Teno Nakshatre Havamagamishtha Swadabhir Yajnam Prayatam Jusantam Ye Agnidagha Ye Nagnidagha Ye Mullokam Pitara Shiyanti Yansya Vitmaya Uchanapta Vitma Maghatu Yajnam Sukrutam Jusantam. Magha, I think, is ruled by, here it says Pitrudevata, basically the ancestors. This is Tasvara Vedamantramuలు,
Oh,
Ramakrishna Masham. This is a Telugu language, Telugu script. Yeah. Also there is a Mantra Pushpam by in the Devanagari script. There is a book called Mantra Pushpam. You definitely would have seen. That also has Nakshatra Pushpam. Yeah, lot of books have. And actually I found, I will forward this to SJC Boston when I go home. So done it. I found a PDF file. If you can read Devanagari script, you can just keep it on your computer and you can read it. This also has the Para notation. This is the Nakshatra Suktam from Taittiriya Brahmana. I'll forward this to you. Those of you who can read the Devanagari script, they can read from here. Okay. So, now the thing is, I'm not going to help at all. This is a class to see how you are doing and how well you are doing, and if there are any areas where I should concentrate in the next few months. So that is why I have this class, this practical class. So yeah, you ask him this. Just for the recording, I will summarize. Seshu asked Srinivas whether the chart was corrected or not, rectified or not. So who rectified it? He forgot. You helped him rectify it and he forgot.
it's fine, but you want to go.
Okay, chart is basically rectified, but neither of them is taking responsibility. So that means the class has to rectify it again. The one who helped you rectify is asking, is it rectified? And you are saying, I think it is, but you want to do it again. So we will let the other people rectify it. So what do you guys want to know in order to rectify the chart? First of all, you want to see how close to the border it is.
Yeah, in D10 it is 5 minutes either way.
Okay, 5.5 minutes backwards or 5 minutes forward. If the time changes by 5 minutes 25 seconds earlier or 4 minutes 57 seconds later, the Lagna will change. So if he is sure that it is within 4.5 minutes, you can be sure of the Lagna. How confident are you that this time is accurate? He thinks it is accurate. So that means mostly it is right. So, but we have a little bit of doubt. We are not fully sure. So we will use some events. But we will start with the assumption that this is probably right. Now, what is his career? If you see, for example, let me see the Lagna. It is at 133. Okay, let us go to Vinshamsha. Suppose you are finding some events in his spiritual life, let us say, and you are using Vinshamsha chart. Okay? If you click on this, if you click the right mouse button on this, you will get this menu. It will say, when will Lagna change sign in this particular divisional chart in D20. If you click that, it will tell you the time, how far back, how backward the time should be moved or how forward the time should be moved, so that Lagna in this divisional chart changes. For each divisional chart, those windows are different. The window in which that Lagna is active. So here, if you can see that 13 seconds earlier, the Lagna would have been the previous time. Whereas 4 minutes 57 seconds later, it would have been the next time. So it is very likely the Lagna here in this D20 is Capricorn, right? It's quite possible that it may be Sagittarius, because it's only after all 13 seconds for God's sake. That could easily be possible. Even if somebody thinks it's accurate, 13 seconds of error is quite possible. So it is either Capricorn or Sagittarius. Could be Aquarius also. There can be 5 minutes error and go to Aquarius, but the probability is low because he's saying it's reasonably accurate. So we will think that Capricorn and Sagittarius are contenders and Aquarius is a very, very distant contender. So with that assumption, you can proceed further. You can ask him questions about his spiritual life. No, I was giving her an example where it is close. But the thing is, now we are not interested in his spiritual life. He is not interested in his spiritual life. He is only interested in career. So we are looking at D10. We are looking at the Dashamsha chart. So in that chart, when I found the window, it's actually 5 minutes on both sides. 5.5 minutes on one side, 5 minutes on the other side. So it's reasonably accurate. If he knows that the time cannot be wrong by more than a couple of minutes, you know that this Lagna is accurate in the Dashamsha. It's not changing by a sign. in either direction, forward or backward. So, most probably Aquarius Lagna in Dashansha is right, but we will confirm it by using some information. So, yes, Narayan. Pardon? Dashansha failure. If you think that this Dashansha doesn't explain, if this Dashansha doesn't explain, then Rashi itself will say. But our assumption is this is right. Our assumption is it is between 0 and 3 degrees. We are proceeding with that assumption. Yes. See if this Dashansha explains. Another thing is, but the point you made is very valid. The thing with Dashansha Lagna is, of course not in this case, but in some cases, the Rashi may change if you are on the border of two Rashis. If you are in the first Dashansha, if you go back to the previous Dashansha, the Dashansha will remain the same, but Rashi Lagna will change. You see what I am saying? Suppose take Aries and Taurus. What is the last Dashansha in Aries Rashi? If a planet is in the last 3 degrees of Aries, in the Dashansha it is in Capricorn. And if it is in the first Dashansha of Taurus, that means the first 3 degrees of Taurus, what is the Dashansha again? Again it is Taurus. No, again Capricorn, yes. So, irrespective, if you know that somebody was born either in the end of Aries or the beginning of Taurus, then you know that Dashansha Lagna is in either case going to be Capricorn. So you can take Dashansha Lagna as Capricorn, but if you want to look at Rashi and Dashansha and correlate, or if you want to use Dashansha Narayan Dasha, you better rectify the Rashi Lagna first in such a case. But in this case, we are not on an odd Rashi and even Rashi bottle. We are on an even Rashi, odd Rashi bottle. So if Lagna goes from the beginning of Aquarius to the end of Capricorn, Dashansha Lagna will also change. Both Rashi Lagna and Dashansha Lagna will change. So we will just use Dashansha Lagna and see if this makes sense or not. If it doesn't make sense, we have to actually consider the previous Dashansha as well as next Dashansha, because both are equidistant, both are 5 degrees for 5 minutes. So if there is a 5-minute error, it could be backward or forward. We don't really have a bias. We can't basically put probability. In the other case, with Nishansha, because of 30 seconds, we can put a probability. We can say that probability that it is backward is much higher than the probability that it is forward. So anyway, the bottom line is, we are going to assume that Aquarius Lagna in Dashansha is correct. And we will try to justify it based on whatever information we give. If we really cannot justify and if we are not sure, then we will question what to do next, forward or backward. Okay? Now, somebody should write. Okay, that's all. When was the first job he asked? Actually, you don't want to, apart from the timing, do you want to know anything about his career at all? What he does? Will that help you? Then ask that. Because that is a more fundamental thing. The Lagna. Dashansha Lagna. In order to rectify the Dashansha Lagna, you don't just need when he joined the first job. Why I am saying this is, once you go to event, the Dasha you are using should be the appropriate Dasha. If you have, basically another parameter is introduced. Instead of using, let's say some Dasha is applicable here. Chatura Siji Samdasha, not here, but suppose. And instead of it you are using Inchotri Dasha, let us say. That will cloud all your judgment. So, the fewer the parameters, the better off you are. So, instead of using a Dasha, if you can draw your conclusions without any Dasha, just by static characteristics, you are better off. Okay, keep that in mind. So, ask him what is his career. He is a software professional. What kind of software? He is a software professional and he is a database administrator. Okay. Okay, there is somebody who knows something about him and he is saying that he was not like that in the beginning. So, we are not interested in just what you are now. Overall in your career, what did you do most of the time?
I joined Indian Army in 77.
Mm-hmm.
I came up to retirement.
77 Indian Army. When did you take premature retirement?
98.
Oh, long time. Okay. 88, 1998?
98.
Yeah, that is right, okay. And then?
Then I came to US in
99
1999.
April. So, for those who are listening to the audio, he joined Indian Army in 1977 and he had a premature retirement in 1998. And then in 1999 April, he came to US. When you joined Indian Army, what were you doing in Indian Army? Soldier or?
I was full color, I outside of the full color. I didn't make a backup for a phone.
I see. Okay. I would have never guessed that you were in army. Looking at your demeanor, your behavior, I would have never guessed it. No, not from the chart. Not from the chart, I'm saying. Personally, from whatever behavior I have seen, I would have never guessed him to be in army. Maybe Narayan or maybe even you, I would have guessed. Okay. Huh? Well, that's debatable.
But I'm saying the difference will come from March to police. Why is it March to police?
Yeah. That is one viewpoint actually. But all these military activities can be shown by Mars also, and in any case we have the Templar D's cases. So now we'll come to the chart later. Let me finish typing. Are there any other career related?
Ever since 1999 I was July I joined this company and I was in
July 99, database administrator. Okay. Oh, that's very good. Okay, so he came to USA in April 99, and in July 99 he joined this company as database in the database, and he's been there since then. And suddenly now he doesn't like the company and company doesn't like. So that is the situation. Now, what do you think? He told you whatever he could. Now, what do you think on the basis of that? Does this Lagna look correct? Yeah. Now, actually, before we proceed, I'll give you a chance to finish your thought. But just to finish the thought that Narayan brought up, he said that actually army soldiers are shown by Ketu rather than Mars. What is the view of you guys? I was actually refining the statement by saying that both Mars and Ketu show. Both of them will show military activities, military people. Who is shown by Mars and who is shown by Ketu? What is the... Yeah. What kind? Foot soldiers basically. Yeah. You tell an army man, do this. If you tell him to do this, he has to do this. If you tell him to do this, he has to do this. If you tell him to turn around and fall back, he has to fall back. He doesn't have to think. They actually force them not to use their brain at all the foot soldiers. They have to take orders, just do it without applying their head. So, all the foot soldiers are shown by Ketu. But what about the high-level people who are planning everything, all planning the logistics, who are charting up all the plans, all the big colonels, etc. Who show them? Ketu or Mars? Mars. So that is the difference between Mars and Ketu. But most of the soldiers will, like Narayan said, they will be shown by Ketu. But still, you will find a strong Mars influence. If you look at any soldier's chart, just like a policeman's chart, you will find a strong Mars influence because Mars is the planet of aggression. He is the planet of initiative. So here,
no matter what, survey, like background.
Yeah.
Even if higher ranking,
Yeah.
still they have to say yes to the.
That's true.
He is still a Ketu quality.
There is still a Ketu quality. There is still a Ketu quality, but Mars quality slowly increases as you go on. Yeah. Slowly, they never become full Mars. They start as full Ketu. Slowly, they become some percent Ketu and some percent Mars. So, are you happy that this chart is reasonable? You are happy? Okay, what is your reason? Templar is Ketu and Mars is in the 10th house, very strong Mars. Yeah. Originally, before this fact came to light, when he said that he was a database administrator, were you happy?
I was thinking Mars and Jupiter was for computers.
Yeah, computers, but that would be more hardware side, not really database. Who would be the database planet? So, is he in Ashatrikona? He is in the 6th house. But is Mercury strong or Mars strong? Who will show Kerry? Mars, 10th house is much stronger than the 6th house. So were you surprised? Honestly, all of you, I'm asking all of you. When he said he was a database administrator with this thought, were you guys surprised? Okay. Before you had a chance to look at it, you got the okay. But now you are happy, are you?
Yes.
You are happy, good. So then if you are happy, I am happy. Now, do you want to double confirm it? Because this makes sense. Yes, that's what I am saying. This makes sense, but the thing is, even if you move the Lagna by a sign, still it may be justifiable. Of course, with this Lagna, it is perfectly justifiable, 100% justifiable. But with a different Lagna, maybe it is 50% justifiable. So, to be even more confident, do you want to justify this using Dasha, some event? Okay. What Dasha do you want to use? I am at your service. Narayan Dasha or Vishwatri Dasha? What Dasha do you have affinity to? You should all use lot of dashas, lot of techniques and lot of thought and find out what works best for you. Not because the technique is better technique, but because your thinking, the way your brain operates has an affinity to the way that dasha is judged. Maybe from a past life action. So there will be some techniques that you will have easy success. So you have to find out what those are. What do you want to use? Vimshottari. Are you sure Vimshottari is the correct nakshatra dasha or there is something else? Any other dasha applicable? No? Okay. So you want to use Vimshottari dasha. Yes, sir. Yes, yes. Saptam Samadana.
Yeah, that one is when Lagna Lord is different or
Yeah. Right, absolutely.
you cannot use it in the
Right.
Narayan Dasha, I don't know where it applies for you.
Yeah, you missed all the Narayan Dasha classes.
But generally speaking, you say that the activity will be
What I meant is, let me clarify that a little bit. What I meant by that is, if you have an affinity to disappearance of the star, you can't use it in all the stars. Yeah. What I mean is, Nakshatra Dasha, they are judged in a particular way. Narayan Dasha is judged in a particular way. Tajika annual chart, you have certain way of getting it. Not jokingly, half joke. Maybe.
just think that I have to meet Narayan Dasha classes to go out to
Yeah. Maybe you have an affinity, but it is testing you. Maybe once you touch Narayan Dasha, maybe all your predictions will start coming true. You never know. You never know when it will come back. Anyway, so then what I meant is within Vimshottari and Vishwatri Samadasha, I didn't need any affinity or anything. But whether to use Nakshatra Dasha, whether to use Narayan Dasha, whether to use progression, whether to use Vipravesh, whether to use transit, the way the brain has to think when applying a different technique is different. So some brains may be more fine-tuned for certain techniques. I am very comfortable with Vipravesh. Other things I am not sure. I use them, but if somebody comes to me for a prediction, I just go to Vipravesh, Vishwatri Dasha, I am happy, I am done. So that is my way. For somebody else, it may not be that comfortable with it. They may be happier with Tajika chart. So like that, there will be something that your brain is suited for. So that you will find out when you accept. You have to play with everything. Anyway, he wants to use Nakshatra Dasha. Oh, good. Okay. So he was doing telecommunication. What kind of exact work for telecommunication? Were you maintaining any equipment, etc. for telecommunication?
It's like a parallel to what we
Okay.
It's a parallel to
But were you doing any development or any deployment? Management of infrastructure?
all this hardware as well as the manpower.
Okay, very good, excellent. Okay, so the additional information he has given is, in the army, he was doing some telecom work. He was doing some telecom work in the army. Which planet will show that kind of work? Okay. Any other part? So Mercury shows telecom. Pardon me?
It's kind of administration also.
Yeah. Okay. So because it's telecom administration, it is Sun and Mercury. Any other thoughts on which planet should show Peri? The Peri that he mentioned. What would you expect if somebody is doing that kind of work? What planets do you expect to be involved? Okay. We have covered 3 planets. Any other planets? What are you using? Big machines or small machines? Okay. Yeah, Ketu is more like it. When we say big and small, we don't really mean size-wise. You may look at it size-wise, but you look from the point of view of qualification, what it's doing, etc. So when you say Rahu, like you said, it's big industrial machinery, big airplanes, that kind of stuff. That kind of stuff. But not really telecom equipment. Now, the thing is, we say that Mercury is the planet of telecommunication. That is absolutely correct. But the thing is, basically Mercury is the planet of communication. If you are seeing human chart, whatever I am communicating to you, this communication is happening because of Mercury. He is the intelligence behind this communication between you and me. Similarly, if you look at country charts, mundane charts, Mercury shows telecom within the company, within the country. Because again, he is the intelligence through which communication occurs. So that is why we say that Mercury shows telecom. But if somebody is doing telecom hardware, let us say, or maintaining some telecom hardware, maintaining some telecom infrastructure, it doesn't necessarily have to be Mercury in the 10th house or Mercury having an influence on the career. Basically, any kind of equipment, hardware, maintaining them, that's basically Mars and Ketu. So here, the 10th house is ruled by Ketu. It contains Mars, who is the planet of hardware, engineering, etc. And Mercury is aspected. So it can definitely be telecom communication. Do you agree? Does it make sense? Okay. So, yes, by Rashi Drishti. For those of you who are unfamiliar with Rashi Drishti, who join later, I'll quickly summarize. All the jewel signs aspect all jewel signs. For example, Gemini, let me see what signs aspect is. Highlight Rashi is aspected by this Rashi. Gemini is aspected by Virgo, Sagittarius and Pisces. Basically these jewel signs, the signs in the corners, they are aspected by all other signs of the same type. Okay? For movable signs, Aries, Cancer, Libra and Capricorn are movable signs. For movable signs, the rule is take the adjacent sign. If it is movable, take the adjacent fixed sign. If it is fixed, take the adjacent movable sign. And take quadrants from it. So for example, for this, Aries, we take quadrants from Taurus, which are Leo, Scorpio and Aquarius. So I can show you in the software. Highlight Rashi, aspected by this Rashi. So Aries is aspected by Leo, Scorpio and Aquarius. Okay. Similarly, if you take Taurus, it is a fixed sign. So take the adjacent movable sign and take quadrants from it. Quadrants from this are Cancer, Libra and Capricorn. So those are the signs that aspect Taurus. So if you do in the software, highlight Rashi is aspected by this Rashi. Taurus is aspected by Cancer, Libra, Capricorn. If you practice a little bit, when you see a sign, you can immediately say which signs are aspected by it. If you use North Indian chart, this is difficult. Finding out the Rashi is very difficult. But if you use South Indian chart, it's very obvious. So practice a little bit and you will get used to it. So Mercury here is aspecting the 10th house. And 10th house contains Mars and it is ruled by Ketu. Mars shows infrastructure, hardware, etc. Maintaining hardware, managing hardware. The thing is, when you use the word management, you guys were saying Sun and Venus. If you are managing hardware, there is a big difference between managing people and managing equipment. Managing equipment is not necessarily Sun or Venus. Oh, okay. In that case, Sun and Venus are relevant. But if somebody is taking care of equipment, keeping the equipment in shape, making sure that it is usable by people, that is more a Mars thing rather than Sun or Venus. Okay. Yeah.
Maintenance position of company.
Mm-hmm.
It's responsible for the maintenance of all the infrastructure.
Okay.
So you still have people to come.
Yeah.
So even that person is actually responsible for
Yeah, it will not be. Ketu is basically working with the equipment. Mars is having some initiative, make sure that all the instruments, all the hardware, all the equipment we have is in order. Whereas Sun is ruling over people, ruling over intelligence.
But generally when Mars is very positioned in the chart,
Yeah.
you say that they have commanding presence.
Yes.
You have the ability to command
Yes.
also.
Yeah.
Even though Sun has that, but this is still contact.
They will be, it's the difference between, that's a very good point you bring up. What is the difference between Mars and Sun? Both are Kshatriya planets. Both are basically warrior planets. Both are fiery planets. What's the difference between Mars and Sun? What kind of leader? Like you said, if Mars is very strong in the 10th house, he shows some leadership qualities as well. But what is the difference between the leadership shown by Mars and the leadership shown by Sun?
Mars is more commander.
He is the executor. He doesn't. Sun is basically the king, and Mars is the commander-in-chief. So commander-in-chief goes to the war front along with, of course, not today, not these days, but in the old days. Commander-in-chief used to go to the war front and fight, and he used to be involved in all the low-level details. So he is somebody who will lead by example, who will be there and leading people. Whereas Sun is somebody who is good at delegating things. So that is the difference between Sun and Mars. If you take a big political leader, they are doing all kinds of legislations, but what are they doing really? They are sitting in their AC room and they are passing orders. So that is Sun. Whereas if you take an army man, an army commander, who is going to the war front, who is making all the plans, who is fighting, he is Mars. Similarly, forget the politicians and army people, but even in terms of normal people, if somebody has Sun in the 10th house, he will be a leader, but he is somebody who is a good administrator. He can delegate, he can decide, this person will do this, this person is good at doing this, let me give this job to Setu, let me give this job to Prakash. Like that, he will delegate the responsibility and he will just relax. He will just enjoy his life. That is Sun. Whereas Mars, he gets involved in all the low-level details. He says, okay, let's all go and dig a hole there and do this, do that. Like that, they will lead by example. They will be at the front of things. Not passing orders and sitting in an AC room. They will be at the forefront of everything. That is the leadership from the Mars. So coming back to this chart. Now, even with the original information he gave, are you happy with the chart? That is good. Now use the dasha.
The Saturn Mars are opposite each other. That's why in this 16 in
Yeah.
Saturn and Mars are opposite each other.
There is a Kanikuja Samasaptakam, yes. Yeah. What does it
Lot
show?
of changes.
But he didn't have any changes.
From military to this,
There is only one change. He was in military for 20 years and he was in this particular job for almost 7 years. 6.5 years he's been in one job. And in 6.5 years I have changed like 7 jobs. So I'm not a standard or something, but I'm sure many of you will have changed jobs every 2 years. And being in just 2 jobs in his entire career, starting in 79. So basically how many years? Almost 30 years now. 27 years. In 27 years, having basically 2 jobs. That's not really a lot of changes, believe me. Not in this age. Maybe compared to 1940s, it is a lot of changes. But
then what does the Saturn and Mars?
yeah, let us come to that. What does Saturn Mars? Actually, what does Saturn Mars Is it a good combination or bad combination here? Okay. Saturn and Mars aspecting each other or being together is bad. Because, why is it bad? Because of their natures are different or totally different. What does Saturn show? What is Saturn's nature? Hard work, patience, stability. Saturn hates to move. That's why he moves, but if you look at him for a month, it looks like he's not moving. You have to look at him for several years to know that, oh, he's actually moving. He moves so slowly. That's why he's called Manda. That means slow moving one. He takes such a long time to move. So he likes stability. He likes, even if you think that things are bad, he says, oh, nothing is bad, everything is great. For him, things as they are always great. There is no need to disturb them. That is Saturn. Whereas Mars, he wants to change every day. Actually, day is also bad. Every minute he wants to change. That is Mars. So, Mars is the planet of dynamism and Saturn is the planet of staticism. When I come up with the word. He is the planet of basically stability and continuity. So, if those two planets are aspecting each other, there is a tug of war. Similarly, if Sun and Saturn are aspecting each other or together, again there is a tug of war. But what kind of tug of war is that? What is the clash between Sun and Mars? Yeah, royalty versus poverty. Okay, one good word to use. Is that royalty versus poverty? That is Sun and Saturn show. But in terms of qualities of a person, king versus slave. Sun shows the administrator within you. There is one corner within you which wants to just relax and pass orders. In everybody there is that spirit, the spirit of Sun. Based on how strong Sun is in your chart, there is a part of you which doesn't want to do things, which thinks that it is the best in deciding everything for everybody. So it wants to control everybody, but not do anything. That is Sun. But there is also a part of you which says, work hard. Don't do. You don't have to tell other people to do it. You can do everything in the world. It takes time, but that's okay. Just keep doing, you will do everything. There is a part of you that says that also. So when Sun and Saturn are together, or when they are aspecting each other, those two parts within you are in clash. So there is a clash between the king in you and the slave inside you. So that is the thing with Sun and Saturn. Whereas with Mars and Saturn, the clash is between the dynamism within you and the stability and steadiness within you. So there is a clash. There are two forces pulling in two different directions. And in this case, even though, like we said, this particular combination of Saturn and Mars, Samasaptakam, is bad, is it a Raja Yoga also? Is there a Raja Yoga given by Saturn and Mars? They are in Kendra, but not only that, what houses do they own? What house does the Saturn own? He's the Lagna Lord. Saturn is Lagna Lord. And what about Mars? He is 10th Lord. So their combination, their mutual aspect, is a Raj Yoga. It's a yoga between a quadrant Lord and a trine Lord. So it's a mixed yoga. By nature, those are planets into extremes. But they are actually working together to give him good fulfillment career. Now, looking at the fact that he has Shani Lagna, his Lagna Lord is Saturn, and looking at the fact that Saturn is a sister sign, what do you conclude? What is his nature? As far as career is concerned, his working society is concerned, what is his nature? Very stable and steady, very focused, very patient, very perseverant. Why? Because in general, if Saturn is Lagna Lord or if Saturn is in Lagna, that kind of nature may be there. But here, Saturn is placed in a fixed sign. Aries and quadrants are mobile signs, Taurus and quadrants are fixed signs, and Gemini and quadrants are dual signs. So he's in a fixed sign. Fixed signs show stability. So when you find Saturn in a fixed sign, he is even stronger. And Mars, he is the planet of dynamism, but he is stuck in a stable sign here. He is stuck in a fixed sign. Similarly, if you see Mars in a mobile sign, let us say, suppose Mars was in Aries, if he is in a mobile sign, there will be a lot of dynamism. Mobile signs show a lot of changes, dynamism, whereas fixed signs show stability, continuity. And mobile signs are a mixture of the two. So here both Mars and Saturn, the planets giving Raj Yoga, are in Picture sign, and moreover Saturn is in Picture sign, Lagna. So you can definitely conclude that he is somebody who does not like a lot of change. He is somebody who likes things the way they are. So the fact that he is talking about changing job and not being happy, it shows that there is something seriously wrong. Otherwise, he is not somebody who would be easily thinking of a job. When you look at this Dashamsa, that is what you can conclude. Okay, let us come back to the discussion. Now, so we addressed the point in it, Saturn-Mars combination. It shows basically some clash between dynamism and stability, but stability definitely wins because Mars is also in a Picture sign, and Saturn is moreover Lagna Lord. He decides his nature. So he is somebody who likes stability to be in the same place. And now Prasad's turn is over. Somebody else. Okay, Prashanka, your turn. Look at the dashas and make some sense. And because this is Prasad's choice, if you want to use a different dasha, we can change. Then you have to use Insert Dasha and make it.
Because in 1977, he was running
77 or 79? 77, oh sorry. 77.
he was running Jupiter and Saturn.
Yeah? Okay?
It doesn't make sense to me.
It doesn't make sense? Okay.
Except,
Your turn is over. Don't say why not.
except Saturn and Jupiter.
Okay. Whose results will Jupiter give in career? Ketu. Okay. What career does Ketu show? Ketu, the 10th Lord, in the 9th house. What career does it show? Several possibilities, but definitely a foot soldier, an army man, somebody who takes orders. So that is why Jupiter Dasha gave the result. It gave Ketu's result. Are you happy now? Are you convinced?
Yeah.
Okay. What about Saturn and the Dasha? Why Saturn and the Dasha gave him career?
It started in 2007, but the training started in June 26.
Mm-hmm. It started in Jupiter.
June 76 started.
So it was in Jupiter itself. He said June 76. Jupiter Rahu. So that is when his career started. Okay. Now that event makes sense. What about the other event? He had a nice career for such a long time, 20 years, 21 years. He suddenly decided, no, this is not for me. One morning he woke up, I'm just dramatizing it. One fine morning he woke up and said, no, this is not for me. I want to be a Gatapati.
That makes sense because Venus is in the South.
Yeah.
98.
98. He took premature retirement. 98, second half or when?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. We'll use only after this. So Venus, Saturn, Venus.
Saturn Venus.
Why was there a change in Saturn, Venus? Venus? Very good. Excellent. Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay.
And from Saturn to Venus is 9
Actually, there is a parivartana
Yeah. Yeah, there is a parivartana.
in Saturn to Venus.
Yeah. Is that parivartana a good yoga or bad yoga? I mean, what kind of yoga is that parivartana? We will continue after I press record twice. What is this parivartana between which lord? The 4th lord in 12th and the 12th lord in 4th. If the 4th lord is in 12th and 12th lord is in 4th, what kind of results would you expect? What does 4th house control?
Comfort.
Happiness and comfort. The feeling that you have a good direction, actually. The sense of direction. That is 4th house. If that lord is in 12th house, what does it show?
Last kind of giving away some kind of
Compromise for a direction, basically. Now, another thing, I think I mentioned some time back. Usually, this is basically a deletion tradition, that Saturn Venus Antardasha, if you take Saturn Dasha and Venus Antardasha, that Antardasha or Venus Saturn, Venus Dasha, Saturn Antardasha, But more importantly, Saturn Venus Antardasha. That Antardasha is usually a Antardasha of changes. It is an Antardasha if there are suitable combinations for, let us say, sannyasa or renunciation in a chart. Saturn Venus Dasha has the reputation of making somebody a sannyasi. For Shiva, I'm just pointing out. It makes Saturn Venus makes people question their life, makes big changes in their life. Saturn Venus has that reputation.
And then from Saturn to Venus is 9,000.
Yes, very good. From Saturn, he is looking at the Bhoga. Saturn is in Taurus. From Saturn, Venus is in 9th house. You take the 9th house again from Venus. Where is the Bhoga? It is in Kanya, Virgo. So that is, which house is it? 8th house. So the Bhoga in Saturn Dasha, Venus Antardasha, the Bhoga is in 8th house. That is point number 1. And point number 2, in terms of Arudha, Saturn and Venus both are associated with A2, A8 and AL. Both the planets. So what does it show? A8 will show, A8 can show a break, a clear break in career, especially in Mrityu-pada. 8th house is Mrityu. A8 is a tangible Mrityu. Basically a tangible break in career. So when you see A8, definitely the planet in A8 can give a break. So Saturn is in that Arudha and Venus was that Arudha. And AL is also there. So this can be a new beginning. If any planet is associated with AL or Lagna, they can give a new beginning in career. So both the planets are associated with Arudha Lagna, so they can be a new beginning in career. That is point number 1. Point number 2. Manifested? Yeah, last. What falls in UL? Bhoga is in Kanya, yes. Well, yeah. You can say that. The fact that this is 8th house and this has UL, it can show giving up something. But in general, his UL, A10 and A4 are together. What would you conclude from it? UL, A10 and A4 are together in the 8th house. What can you conclude based on it? What is A10? Not a question of wrong and right, but just, yeah. You basically put all of them together and made a sentence. Yeah. First of all, forget the fact that they are in 8th house. Forget the fact that they are in 8th house. Just, let's say somebody has A10 and UL. What would that mean? What do those two Arudhas show? Like we said earlier, Arudhas are tangible things. What is A10? Tangible karma, tangible career, tangible work. So that is his job, his real job. The so-called database administrator or telecom administrator, that job is basically A10. What is UL? Giving up something, compromising something, etc. UL is all the compromises you make or something you give away to somebody else. So if there is a connection between UL and A10 in somebody's chart, can you say that that person's career basically will involve some compromise? Most of the time basically there will be some compromise in this career. That is one thing you can say. Secondly, A4 is with A10. What can you say based on it? Is it good or bad? A4 and A10 are together. What is A4? The tangible comfort. The tangible sense of direction. So, that also is with A10. So, if those three Arudhas are together, and also forget Lagna, they are in the 8th house from Lagna, but from Arudha Lagna, where are they? They are in the 5th house from Arudha Lagna. They are well placed from the Arudha. So, the fact that these three Arudhas are together and well placed from Arudha, you can conclude that he will have a good career overall in his life, and he will be very happy, very comfortable in his career, but he will make some compromises. He will make them happy. Compromise is not a bad thing. The fact that there is A4 and A10 also there, it means that there will be some compromises, but he will be happy. A4 is there, so he will be happy.
Just to substantiate what you said.
Yeah.
This got get a proof from the senior rank.
Yeah.
As foregone that.
Yeah.
Instead of sentiment of staying in one pursuit like I said, I like them, really like them. The army is never a stable answer.
Yeah.
Every 2 years, 3 years, you're back and back, approve yourself and go.
Yeah.
So I wanted a stability. and I prefer taking even to return.
Yeah.
So what my promotion,
Mhm.
I given that
Mhm.
and so I got the opportunity came with this
Mhm.
substantially there.
Okay. So he compromised that position and he came here, but he was happy to come here. So this is whatever we said just now. He will have happiness in career, but he will compromise something. This is general overall based on Arudha. But because the bhoga in that particular Antardasha fell there, it may be experienced more in that particular Antardasha. In 97 May to 2002 like. A12 name is UL. Yes. A12 is called UL. For AL is also another exception. We don't say A1, we just say AL. Arudha Lagna. UL is Upada Lagna. That shows why in Rashi chart. In this chart, it shows what you are compromising. Overall in your life, wife is your compromise. But in career, there are some other compromises. So those are shown by UL. It shows your wife. In Rashi and Navamsha, UL is your wife. So that is the biggest compromise that you make in your life. Wife or husband also. Husband is also a compromise. For the ladies also. So, UL is basically all the compromises you make, all the things that you let go. Okay. Now, that makes sense, but the thing is, not only did he leave job and have a new beginning, he had a thing of place. That too to a foreign country. He was in India until then, and he came to USA. Is it possible? Can Saturn, Venus, Antardasha take him abroad?
No, we not even possible.
Which, are you looking at Dashamsha or what are you looking at now?
But we have to see that
You are saying UL, well, there may be some links in Dashamsha, but if you want to look at foreign travel, the residence of a person, what is the best chart? D4 and Rashi itself. Rashi itself is quite good. So we'll switch to D4 and Rashi. Rashi is your physical. Why did it scroll? I didn't do anything. Oh, actually I have this mouse, I forgot. Okay. Rashi and Chaturthamsha, let us see. Now first Rashi. Rashi chart, what do you say? What do you see? Aquarius is Lagna and everywhere, but not in Navamsha. That's why we didn't use Shatabdi Dasha. Okay, sorry. Now, oops. Okay. Saturn, which houses show foreign travel? Shashanka, your turn. Huh? Why 10th house shows foreign travel? Okay. In the Rashi chart, okay, Rashi or Chaturthamsha, whichever chart, what are the houses that show foreign travel? We discussed a lot of foreign travel cases earlier. What are the houses? Main houses. There are two main houses. 4 is just house. 4 is just residence. Okay. 7th house shows a long travel. 3rd house shows a travel. But we said to go to and also being displaced from the motherland is 12th house. And there is another house that we said, prospering in a foreign country. What is it? 9th house. So actually in classics, the houses for foreign travel are, the main houses are 9th and 12th. Those are the two houses. 9 and 12. And also Padhakesha. Padhakasthana shows being displaced from the motherland. And here, what is the 9th house? Venus is Badhakesh and also 9th lord. And Saturn is exalted in the 9th house, in the Badhakasthana. Basically 9th house and Badhakasthana are the same for 6 signs, and it is linked with both Saturn and Venus. So Shani Dasha, Venus Antardasha, there is a chance of travel. Does everybody agree?
Yeah.
Okay.
And there is a Jalapatana Sahma happening in the
Okay, good.
So it's also
Very good, very good. You can use Sahmas in natal chart also. Good. So he found that there is a Jalapatana Sahama. Where is it? It is at the end. Yeah. Jalapatana Sahama, which is basically for crossing oceans and going to a foreign country, that is oceans away. That is in Visakha Nakshatra, Libra, 23 degrees, 45 minutes Libra, and his point is Saturn is very close to it, 22 degrees, 48 minutes. And that was in 23 degrees, 45 minutes. So basically 1 degree away from Saturn, that Jalapatra Sahamam is there. There is one house that is called Badhagathana, the troublemaking house. And that house is found like this. For all movable signs like Aries, Cancer, Libra and Capricorn, takes the 11th house. For all fixed signs like Taurus, Leo, Scorpio and Aquarius, take the 9th house. For all movable, all dual signs, Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius and Pisces, take the 7th house. Okay? 11th, 9th and 7th. Movable, fixed and dual. Simple formula to remember. 11th, 9th, 7th. If you remember 9, 11, just put 1 7 at the beginning. 7, 9, 11. Or you can remember 7, 11 and 9, 11 together. Okay. Now what do you want to see? Are you happy that the chart is right, or do you want to use the Pravesh, what not, all the techniques that you know, and spend 3 hours with him and then say, your time is over now. So, your time is accurate. I hereby certify that your time is accurate. Goodbye now.
I think you now want to go to region.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Can I ask just one question?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I also wonder about it. Which means that I don't know the answer. Yeah, actually, there is a Parvatana between 2 planets. One planet giving the results of other. There is a that is basically given in tradition. But if there is a Parvatana between cyclical Parvatana between 3 planets, planet A in B's house, B in C's house, C in A's house. That kind of Parvatana, whether there is any exchange of results, there isn't anything in tradition. Of course, the cyclical Parvatana can be between more than 3 also.
Right.
Mars may be in Jupiter house, Jupiter may be in Sun house, Sun may be in Venus house, Venus may be in Mars house.
Maybe it depends on the place depending upon which Parvatana is cleared by some event.
Yeah.
Depending upon which event, that is possibility that comes.
Maybe. I can also speculate. You can also speculate. Basically, I don't have an answer. So, bottom line is speculate. You started it, continue and speculate. Okay? You don't have any guidelines given in tradition for that case. But obviously, if there is a Parvatana, ritual Parvatana, there must be some kind of synchronization of energy, some kind of harmonization of the energy. Definitely, there is some significance of it. That much I can say. Exactly how you use it, I am not sure. Even if I have some thoughts, basically they are not terrible. Yeah. Yeah. You can consider Rahu also. But who is stronger? First of all, both the planets will act as lords. Both of them will give some result. But the stronger one will give more result. Now who is stronger? Saturn or Rahu? The fact that Arudha Lagna is in Taurus means Saturn was taken as Lagna. Or you can go to Narayan Dasha of Dashamsha in the software and then see who is taken. Lot of Aquarius is taken as Saturn by the software. So Saturn is stronger. So at least the software thinks Saturn is stronger. Why? Do you remember the rule? Not you, Narayan, you remember. Others, I forgot. Anybody remember? What are the rules? What is the first rule? 2 planets own a house. What is the first rule? More planets. Saturn and Rahu. Who is with more planets? They are with 0 planets. Equal. What is the second rule? Who remembers? Aspect. From who? Aspect by who? He just, he nodded his head. No, I'm not guilty. I didn't do it. Yeah, okay. Dispositor of the planet and excellent, you remember. So at least there is one person in the class who remembers. Of course, the bottom line is you don't have to remember because software does most of the things for you, but it's good to remember. Yeah. Actually, you should you should give up your computer. Take some panchangas, take a notebook and do astrology with them for a month. Then you will know all the rules. Otherwise, you just get used to software. Anyway, the rules are Mercury, Jupiter and the dispositor. Look at aspects from them and see which planet has aspects from more planets out of it. So take Mercury. Is he aspecting Saturn or Rahu or both? He is aspecting only Saturn, right? Because he is in a mobile sign. If you take the fixed sign adjacent to it and take quadrant, Saturn is in a quadrant but not Rahu. So Saturn is aspected by Mercury but not Rahu. So count Rahu 0, Saturn 1. Second principle. Jupiter. Jupiter is here. Who is he aspecting? And here we use Rahu. He is aspecting again Saturn but not Rahu. So Saturn, count of 2, Rahu 0. Now we don't have to look at the third thing because even if the third thing is in Rahu's favor, it is still 2-1. But just for completeness, let us do it. Rahu, is he aspected by his dispositor? Who is the dispositor? Mars. Is he aspecting? Yes. He is in fixed sign, this is mobile sign. So he is aspecting. So Rahu gets a count of 1. What about Saturn? His dispositor is Venus. Again, he is in fixed sign, Venus is in mobile sign. He is aspecting. So Saturn has a count of 3 out of 3. Rahu has a count of 1 out of 3. Who wins? Saturn. Saturn wins hands down. Actually, one hand down. Because he still needs one hand up. So Saturn wins. So that's why the indications given by Saturn dominate. If Rahu dominated, his personality would have been different. Arun Lagna would have been different, and also his personality. Rahu is in a dynamic sign. He is in Aries, aspected by the Lord of Aries. So his overall nature in career would have been considerably different if Rahu was stronger. Definitely here Saturn is stronger based on the rules and also based on what we know. Yes, yes, yes. That is because software took AL there because it took Saturn there. Saturn as a Lord. If software took Rahu as a Lord, it would have taken AL here. That is basically taking help from software. Basically, okay, AL is here. That means software took Saturn to be stronger. Okay, then Saturn is stronger. So that's what you are saying. That's what we did earlier, but we wanted to verify it based on the rules. Make sure that there is no bug in software. Every now and then, check something in the software. Maybe sometime you will find a bug and you will send me a mail. So sometimes make it a habit to now and then, every now and then, check things manually. Sometimes you will be surprised. Because it may be a bug or it may be something that you totally misunderstood. But never mattered because you are using software. So your misunderstanding can be corrected. So either way, it's worthwhile to check manually sometimes. Okay. So we said that we will give a prediction to do now, right? Yeah. You guys are happy with the data. Okay. Now I just want to give you one small tip. The thing is, whatever you do when there is a client, if you are learning, whatever effort you put in is worthwhile. But if you have a client and you are helping the client, putting too much unneeded effort is useless. Because if you spend less time, you can spend the remaining time on somebody else or on research or something. So, if you just look at Vinsotri, look at all these things, and if you are happy, there is no need to look at Vichitravesh, look at Sajika, look at all those things and verify that things are fine. But when you make the Vichitravesh chart at the current year, probably he came for consultation because of something happening in the current year. When you make the Vichitravesh chart, who knows? Dashamsha may be on a border. Within 15 seconds back, Dashamsha Lagna may be changing in this year's time. We don't know, maybe not, but maybe. In that case, the rectification we have done is not enough. What do you know? Honestly, what do you know based on rectification we have done so far? We spent 1.5 hours, of course, because we were slowly discussing. If it came to you, you did all this by yourself, probably it would be a 10-minute thing. Now, what do you know? That the error in birth time cannot be more than 5.5 minutes backward or 5 minutes forward. So we have a 10.5 minute window. Great. It's a very narrow window. And I'm just being sarcastic. That's not at all narrow. 10.5 minutes is too large. So when you look at current year, let us do that. 2005. Is it? Yeah, but the thing is, he was born in September, so if I make 2006 annual chart, it was given September 2006 or August 2006. So that will be for the 1 year after that. So that will be inapplicable. He's still running in 2005 annual chart. So if you look at his 2005 annual chart, he was born on 2005 August 19, 6:25, no, not born, his annual Supravesha was on 2005 August 19 at 6:25:29 a.m. Indian Standard Time, Machilipatnam, India. Now in the Dashamsha, yes, we are on the border. 2 minutes 38 seconds earlier or 10 minutes later, the time will change. So now, backwards, we were sure that time was not wrong by more than 5.5 minutes. But here, if it was wrong by 3 minutes, it would change. So you need some logic to be confident that the error is not more than 3 minutes. You see what I am saying? Yeah. Otherwise, your rectification is right, time is right. But when you say time is right, this chart is right, you only mean that the Dashamsha Lagna is right. It means it is still within the 10.5 minutes. So this is one thing that you have to keep in mind. Sometimes people rectify and then they think, oh great, I have rectified, and then they proceed to make predictions, and in that particular year's chart, if things are off, you are wrong. Of course, if you don't use the annual Tithi Pravesha, if you just use Narayan Dasha or Vimshottari, then you don't have that problem. But I am saying, if you proceed to use Tithi Pravesha, make sure that first, in that case, directly go to the Tithi Pravesha of the year. Find out the window of certainty needed, and based on it, decide what to do in the natal chart, which divisional chart to take, and however, whatever you do, find some divisional chart. Make sure that you have that answer, that certainty. Make sure that you know that the error backwards is not more than 2.5 minutes. Then only make prediction. You see what I am saying? Then you can be confident. So you have to make sure what is the certainty, window of certainty you need for the prediction that you are going to make, and make sure based on previous events that the window of certainty is there. So for now, let's assume that this is certain. This time is accurate, not more than 2.5 minutes. And let us see the Dashamsha. And of course, you can also look at the events happening within this year to rectify. You don't need natal events. You can use this Dashamsha itself. So let us do that. Do you want to use Tithi Pravesha? No. Oh yes. Okay then. If you said no, I wanted to change the person. So you get to be the man. The king of things.
Hora Lord is Venus.
Hora Lord is Venus. Yes. Ruler of year is Venus.
Right now it is Venus.
Okay. When did this uncertainty, when did this unhappiness start? You said 1 year. So whole year he's been unhappy, but with notice, when did it come? Last week he got the notice. So what is he running right now? What was he running last week?
Venus.
Venus. Venus Dasha, there is a problem from Bhav. There is a notice from Bhav. It looks like this job may basically end. Is it possible? Or this Dashamsha has to be moved back? What do you think? Ninth house is the house of protection, yes? He is 7th Lord. What is his agenda? He is the 12th Lord and 7th Lord. What is his agenda? 7th house. What is 7th house? Maraka from the 6th house. So 7th house shows end in career. What does 12th house show? Loss, giving up, compromise. So that is Venus agenda. So if that planet is in the house of protection, will he protect or will he withdraw protection so that his job can be ended and he can compromise something? That's what he will try to do if he is in 9th house. Okay? So the fact that job change or termination of this job is in age is possible with this Lagna, right? Yeah. And also he is in Badhakasthana. What do planets in Badhakasthana show? What is Badhaka? What is the kind of trouble given by Badhaka? Yeah. Changes, uncertainty, instability, and some trouble. You can't express what the trouble is. Some unhappiness or trouble that is inexpressible. You can only feel it. You don't know how to put it. As though you are possessed by a spirit. That is the kind of trouble Badhaka shows.
And because it is a mind also, because Badhaka comes from Bhav.
Quite possible. If you have a fixed Lagna, there can be some troubles from Badhaka. Assuming that 9th Lord is badly placed or The ninth house has a bad planet, and they can lead some trouble from past.
In this case, it's kind of experience like this that during the apartment living at one day basis.
Yeah.
It's not like after a couple of months of joining something is natural.
Yeah.
After 7 years, there's nothing like apartment living.
Yes.
It's unexpected experience.
Yeah. Right. Okay. So are you confident that Dashyamsha Lagna, even in this animal physical Vaisha chart, is right? Okay, good. Now, what is your prediction? What is your prediction? What do you think will happen? All we have done so far is the easy part. Because, yeah, you have to justify. And if you are honest, you will justify with a very good logic. If you are dishonest, you just adjust with anything. If you compromise, if you are really strong in the D24, in the start of learning, if your UL, the compromise is strong, then you will compromise and you may jump to a conclusion. But that is easy. Whether you are compromising or not, that's easy. But now you have to make a prediction. And he will tell you later, a few months later, whether it came true or not. So now the test for you, real test. What do you think? Yes, absolutely.
So there doesn't seem to be a thing that there is very instability in job, but it will be overcome. By the time the Sangata comes to people, the Rashi chart is in
Yeah.
the own house.
Yeah.
And in the Dasanta, the 10th lord is in the house. So because of Rashi and the year, it is going to bring it's going to be good.
Yeah.
In Dasanta, it is regarding that and being going to bring
Basically, if he is in Rashi Lagna, you can't say there will be a new beginning in career. If he is in Rashi Lagna, basically he will show overall happiness, overall comfort, overall good spirit. He will be in good spirit. That's what you can say. Whereas Venus, go back to Rashi chart. Rashi is the overall physical existence. Venus is the 10th lord of career, and where is he? He is debilitated, and he is with who? Jupiter and Ketu. He is with the 8th lord. Jupiter is 5th lord and 8th lord both. But 8th house is quite strong here, having a planet. So he is with the 8th lord. Basically debilitated 10th lord with the 8th lord. So there can be some unhappiness, some worry relating to the work that he is doing. So that is quite possible. And when sun comes, like you said, he is in Lagna, so you can't say that there will be a new job. That you have to look at Dashansha, but you can say that he will be in good spirits then. Things look good in Sun Dasha. New beginning you can say from the... Okay, we will see Dashamsha further. So look at Dashamsha. So you think that in Venus Dasha he may not be let go?
He will not be let go, but he will have the supplement and
Okay, so Keshu's prediction is until March 22. Even though they said 1 month, until March 22 he will continue in this job, but continue to suffer. Continue to have untold suffering within because of Venus and Bharakasthana. But because there is no A8 or 8 is there actually, we will come to that. But because there is no 3rd house, 8th house involvement of Venus, Venus is not in 3rd house or 8th house or does not own them, he says that he will not give a job, change in job. He will not give an ending job. So that is Keshu's prediction. Anybody else with a different take? You were going to say something.
Yeah, Venus having the old A8 and A4 and
Yeah?
Mrithipada, so and then
He owns Mrithipada, yes?
and then Venus owns even 8 and up.
Yeah?
So it could be chance of giving it Venus to it.
Okay.
And then yes, I mean some Dasha is because Venus, Moon is a discourse of Venus Cancer. I mean, it's also definitely is in service.
So Venus show, you are saying Venus will show service or Moon?
Moon shows service.
Okay, Moon shows service.
A8 and said that it can work also. It will be the tangible A4 effect is kind of given away. So that's not given away.
Okay. A8 and A9 are together. What can you say based on it? A8 and A9 are together. Actually, A4 is also with A8. A4, A9 and A8 are together.
Comfort and protection will be written.
Yeah.
There is certain instability.
Or if you use Casey's technique, you can say your tangible happiness, your tangible fortune, and your tangible end in career will be let go.
Really speaking, you have to look at the relative strength and weaknesses of
Yeah.
A4, A8 and A9.
Yes, yes.
By locating in A12, in general,
Not 8, 12.
12 house,
Yeah.
in general, all of them will be weakened.
Mm-hmm.
So your protection, your comfort,
If 9th Lord and 8th Lord are together, is it a good yoga or bad yoga? Bad yoga, right? Yeah. Similarly, if A9 and A8 are together, if A8 is a bad Arudha, except for some occult, spiritual pursuits, etc. If you are looking at Dashamsha, if you are looking at normal career, A8 is a terrible Pada. If A8 is with any Arudha Pada, it basically spoils that Arudha Pada. It is like 9th Lord and 8th Lord being together. A9 and A8 being together is akin to 9th Lord and 8th Lord being together. So that is point number 1. So because of it, during this year, A9 and A4 are basically being compromised by being conjunct with A8. The fact that they are in the 12th house doesn't really mean much. First, when you are looking at Arudhas, see which Arudhas are together. So those tangible things will come together. If A9 and A10 are together, let us say, the tangible fortune and the tangible job have a harmony, which means it will be seen to be a fortunate person in career. If A9 and A8 are together, then A9 is your tangible fortune, like having a good boss, support from a good boss, it's a fortune. Or suddenly somebody remembers you and says, so do you want a job here? That is your fortune. Things like that. So those are shown by A9. And A8 shows some tangible unhappiness, tangible suffering, and tangible shame, and tangible pressure. So that is A8. So when A9 and A8 are together, it doesn't show great fortune basically. There will be some obstacles, some tangible problems in basically be letting your fortune manifest. And also A4 is with A8. So not lot of happiness and not lot of protection in your career during this year. And also from Arudha Lagna, when you are looking at Arudha's placement, from Arudha Lagna it is very important. The relative placements of various Arudhas. Whichever Arudhas are from Arudha Lagna or important from Arudha Lagna, they basically they will give their results in full. So A9, A8 combination, this good yoga is happening in 10th from Arudha Lagna. So it's not really great. So this year is not a great year from the point of view of being protected by your bosses, etc. They will not really protect you. So that is point number 1. And can this come to the front in Venus Dasha? Yes, he is the lord of that house. He is the lord of this Duryoga between A9 and A8. But how is A10? Because that is the real job. Protection is one thing, but the actual job he is doing is A10. How is A10? Is it blemished by any Arudha? Is it involved in any good or bad yoga? No. A10 is alone.
A10 is also in tolerance.
Yes. A10 is also in tolerance. And how is it placed from AL? Arudha. 5th house. It is in a trine from Arudha Lagna. That is very good. Any Arudha that is in a trine from Arudha Lagna, that Arudha will prosper. So job-wise, his job scene looks good from that point of view during this year. And both the results are likely to be given by Venus. Venus is the lord of A8, A9 Duryoga, as well as he is the lord of A8. And as a matter of fact, being the planet who owns A9 and A10, he also gives a good yoga. If the same planet is associated with A9 and A10, that's a Raj Yoga. So the same planet owns A9 and A10 here. So there is a Rajoga also being given by, this is a very material manifestation kind of Rajoga. So there is a Rajoga also given by Venus, and there is a Duryoga also given by Venus. So he will give both the results. No, I meant A9 and A10. Venus. A9, A8, A4 and A10, he owns all these Arudas. He owns this. They are located in Venus house. No. From AL it is in 5th house, that's it. It has nothing to do with A5. And overall, how is recognition for the work that he has done during this year? How is recognition? The fact that he was given a notice saying your performance is not satisfactory after so many years, that shows that from the point of view of recognition, not only protection, the fact that his boss decided to desert him, instead of speaking for him and saying, no, he is a great candidate, we should not let him go. Instead of saying it, when some considerations came because of food, they decided to let him go and probably hire somebody cheaper instead of him. When such considerations came, his boss did not protect him. So the fact that he was not protected is because of weakness in A9. But the fact that he was not recognized, there was some weakness in his recognition. That should be from A5, right? That's not A9. How is A5? A5 is in 8th house. It is in 6th house from Arudha Lagna. When you say it is in 6th house, any Arudha that is in 6th house from Arudha Lagna, how will they fructify? What will be the fructification of an Arudha Pada that is in 6th house from Arudha Lagna? What do you say? Will it fructify with lot of difficulty, or will it fructify with, it will not fructify? What would you say? 6th house shows obstacles and overcoming obstacles, but it depends on whether it's a malefic sign or benefic sign. If the 6th house is in a benefic sign, if the 6th house is in a benefic sign, then Arudhas in that sign, they will fructify with lot of force. Basically. The Arudhas will fructify. For example, A9 is in, let's say, 6th house from Arudha Lagna, but let us say it's a malefic sign, owned by Mars, for example. Then A9 will fructify. There will be lot of protection for him, and it will come with lot of strength and force. Lot of warlike situation will come, and his boss will stand up for him and say, no, he cannot go, he must be there. That kind of things are shown by A9 being in 6th house from Arudha Lagna, but in a malefic sign. But if any Arudha is a 3rd or 6th house from Arudha Lagna, but in a benefic sign, just like we said for planets, malefic planets in those houses are good, benefic planets are bad. Similarly, malefic signs in 3rd and 6th from Arudha Lagna are good. They show fighting and giving results. So any Arudhas in those signs will result in a fight and a tangible result relating to that Arudha. And here, A5 is in 6th from Arudha Lagna. Is it a benefic sign or malefic sign? Forget Saturn and Rahu there. Sign, we are talking about sign. Is Gemini benefic or malefic? It's a benefic sign. We consider, even though Mercury is mixed, we consider Gemini and Virgo to be benefic signs, but not fully benefic. They are half benefic houses. Whereas Jupiter houses and Venus houses are fully benefic houses. Mars and Saturn houses are malefic houses, and Sun houses. Those houses are malefic houses. This is how we normally take benefic houses and malefic houses. And when you are looking at the nature of Arudha and the house occupied by Arudha from Arudha Lagna, we have to look at the nature. So here, the fact that A5 is in a benefic sign in the 6th house from Arudha Lagna is not really auspicious for recognition during the year. And moreover, this is one aspect. You see, which house it occupies from Arudha Lagna and Lagna is one aspect. Second aspect is, how is its Lord? And who are occupying it? Is anybody occupying it? Rahu and Shani. Is that are those planets who will give lot of recognition, or are they planets who will basically deplete the recognition? Both of them are depletion planets. They are not strengthening planets. Okay, their agenda. What is their agenda? For me? Yes. Good position for them to fulfill their agenda, but not for promoting A5. As far as A5 is concerned, Saturn and Rahu there is bad. And that, by their inherent nature. When you say Saturn and Rahu, what influence they have on A5? Again, you have to look at two different things. Inherent nature of them and what is their agenda in this chart. By inherent nature, Saturn and Rahu are not planets who give recognition. Mars, Sun, Mercury, Jupiter, these are the planets who give recognition. Saturn and Rahu are the planets who say, why recognize him and put him on a high pedestal? Instead, de-recognize him so that he can work hard, burn his karma faster. That is what Saturn and Rahu will say. So that is their nature. So by nature, they don't want to give recognition to anybody. They are against recognizing and putting somebody on high pedestal. They are for putting everybody on a low pedestal so that everybody can work hard. So by inherent nature, Saturn and Rahu in their time will deplete it. And by agenda, what is their agenda here? They are no, the second from AL, but from Lagna. When you see the agenda, let's look at Lagna. What house do they own? Fourth house. So comfort, as far as recognition is concerned, what is the agenda? Taking the fifth house as reference, they are the 12th lord. So what is their agenda as far as recognition is concerned? To give it or to take it away? To withdraw the recognition, that is their agenda. When their agenda is to withdraw recognition and they are placed in A5 and their inherent nature is not to recognize, will they give you recognition? No. So unfortunately, this is a year when he will not be recognized for all the good work he has done. So that also is matching with what we know. So most likely his time is accurate within 2.5 years. So most likely this is right. Now, how is Venus though? How is Venus? Can he give a new job? Just honestly, do you think Venus may? The fact is he won't say 9, 8, 10, there is a Rajoga, all that we said. As far as 8 is concerned, he is good. But is he likely to give a job or is he going to wait? Can he give an end in the job? Can Venus give an end in the job? Why? Because of owning A8 and also because of owning 7th house. We said that 3rd house shows a break and 8th house shows a long break. But the thing is, sometimes you may see a job change without either of them being involved. 7th house itself is capable of terminating the job because that is marka from the 6th house. So 7th house can give a break in job, but sometimes there can be a break in job and immediately the person may join another job. So it may not be a short break or a long break. It may just be a change. See what I am saying? So 3rd and 8th may not be involved also in such cases. If somebody is out of job and he stays out of job for a month or for a few weeks, then you will expect 3rd house to be involved. If somebody is out of job for a long time, then you will expect the 8th house to be involved. And here, the fact that neither of those houses are involved, most probably he will not be out of job for a long time. That is what we can get. And there may be a quick transition. But the thing is, we are convinced that Venus is capable of making him lose the job. But is Venus capable of giving a new job? What do you think? Can Venus make him lose his job? I mean, can Venus give a new job? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Ashanka is. Yeah. Does he have any credentials in this chart to give a new job? He wants A10. Okay. He is in A11. So he can also give a lot of gains. A10 lot going into A11 means there is a connection between A10 and 11. So he can give, and also A11 is in a quadrant from Arudha Lagna and A10 is in a sign from Arudha Lagna. Both of them are well placed. So he can give a new gainful employment. But does he have any link with the 6th house? Because 6th house is the house of service. Does he have any link with the 6th house? Yeah. His disposition is in the 6th house and he has Argala on the 6th house. So can he give new employment? Can he give business in this year? Can Venus give a business? Are there any combinations in this Dashamsha that tell you that he may start a business this year? Seventh Lord in the ninth house, but is seventh house strong? Sixth house strong? Yeah. How is Mars? Yeah. That is quite positive. The sixth house of service has moved, and Moon is the ninth Lord. If the ninth Lord is in sixth house, they can be
boss and son.
yeah, basically, yeah. Boss is serving you. You basically serve yourself. You are your own boss. If Lagna Lord is in ninth house, or ninth Lord is in Lagna, or sixth Lord in ninth house, or ninth Lord in sixth house, then they can be independent work. Now, pardon me? Ninth Lord in eighth house is usually a combination for misfortune. That person may not have good protection. The bosses may not stand by with that person when it's entered. They may easily desert that person. Not only bosses, luck will desert that person sometimes, unfortunately. So it's not a fortunate combination. Okay. Now, that's a good question, because in order to answer my question, you need to first answer that question. I asked you, can leaders give a new job? What is the
moral out here?
Yeah.
You can give anything.
You can give anything you are saying.
Whatever he is promising in this year, he can.
Absolutely. Very good point. So, irrespective of which house he owns, etc., being the ruler of the year, being the king of the year, even if he has a secondary or tertiary influence on the things of interest, he can give those results. So that is a good point. And moreover, he is the Karya chart. In the Rashi chart, he is the 10th Lord. And he is in a trine in Dashamsha. So being a Karya chart who is in the 9th house, he can give good results relating to career. That is good thing. That is good. But still, he must have something to do with getting a new job in this chart. So what is that? Before you decide whether he has something to do with it or not, you have to decide what is it that gives new job. What gives a new job? Okay? Okay? He has a desire basically. He has a Rashi Drishtiya on Lagna and Graha Drishtiya on Arud Lagna. So he has a desire, he has the potential to give a new beginning and a desire to give a new career basically, new tangible career. But that is not all. In order to get, just because he wants to give a new beginning doesn't mean he will give a new job. In order to get a new job, what is the main house for getting a new job? Sixth house is overall house of service, but to get a new job, tenth house is the work that you do after you get the job. Sixth house is the house of all the effort that you put in after you join a job. And 10th house is the house that shows the actual accomplishments, the work that you have gotten done in your new job. What is the house that shows getting a new job? When will you get a new job? First you have to go for an interview. For me? Yes. 5th house. If you will get a new job, if somebody recognizes that you are capable. As long as once you get a job, whether they think you are capable or not, you may still continue to work. Even if their impression about your capabilities has gone down a little bit, you will continue to work until it reaches a threshold or some other considerations coming. So, you will continue to work. The fluctuations in the 5th house are not so important. Once you join a job, of course, to get a promotion they are important. But to continue in the job, they are not important. Once you join a job, 6th and 10th houses are important. They decide what obstacles are thrown at you, how you overcome them, and what you get done. 6th house is overcoming obstacles and 10th house is getting something done. So, those houses are important when you are continuing in a job. But, once you are out of a job, and you are looking for a new job, somebody has to think that, oh, this guy is good. In the beginning, the level, always the bar is quite high. When somebody is coming from outside, he may be better than everybody at the company. But still they may think, oh, he's not good. We are all great. He doesn't meet our criteria. So they may not like a person. So for everybody to like the person, everybody to interview, he has to really impress him. and impressing somebody is fifth house. So, fifth house, fifth from Arun Lagna and A5. These are very crucial when you are talking about getting a new opportunity. Okay? And of course, you can look at ninth house, A9, etc. also, because you have to also be fortunate. There has to be some fortune. So that is also important. Basically, signs show new opportunities. But more than the ninth house, more than being fortunate, impressing somebody is the most crucial thing in order to get a new job. So fifth house. Does Venus have anything to do with fifth? He has Argala. Venus has Argala on the fifth house and he is in another trine. So that is one thing. Second thing, Arudha Lagna fifth house. That is the tangible. Arudha Lagna is your image. The recognition is actually not of the real you. It is of the tangible you. So, does Venus have anything to do with the fifth from Arudha Lagna? He wants to. What about A5? A5 is a tangible recognition of your ability. If you get an offer, it's a tangible recognition of your ability. Is A5, does Venus have anything to do with A5? It's a benefit promoting A5. His agenda as far as fifth house is concerned is good agenda, he wants it, and he has Argala on the A5. So second house Argala, basically nourishing Argala. So he is basically giving food to his recognition, tangible recognition. So that is good. So because of these reasons,
You want to get it from Venus?
pardon me? Yeah, so A5 is 12 from Venus. So Venus, whatever energy he has, he's spending it on something. What are those things? He's spending it on A5. If an Arudha is in the 12th from a planet, that planet is spending his resources for that particular Arudha. So, in other words, that planet is in the house of food of that planet. Second house is the house of nourishment. So he will nourish that particular tangible manifestation of recognition. So in Venus Dasha itself, does it look likely that he will be recognized? He will get good recognition? Yes. So it is the time, the current Dasha that is running is quite favorable for getting a new job. It is favorable for giving up the current job, and it is also favorable for getting a new job. Which Antardasha is likely to give a new job? Which Antardasha? Venus, always a safe bet. And you know that Venus is good. If you pick Venus, that's doubly Venus. So that is always a safe bet. Good. That is definitely possible. Yeah. Yes. 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 Yeah. Mm-hmm. One second. What I just want to make one point here. Whatever we analyze, that is overall what Saturn and Rahu do during this whole year. When you are looking at Venus Dasha itself, there is a slightly different way to judge. We will do that, but before that I wanted to see what is the Dasha before that. Before Venus, Rahu Dasha ran. That is the Dasha. Probably he got notice after Venus started, but that is the Dasha when all the recognition for him basically disappeared, etc. Because they are in A5, basically whatever results we ascribe to Rahu and Saturn will be given then. But once Venus Dasha comes, Venus and Rahu are friends. Venus and Saturn are friends. So even if Saturn and Rahu want to defeat the A5, Saturn is the lord of the fifth house from Arudha Lagna. He has Argala on the fifth house. So if Saturn wants to give him good recognition, Saturn will tell if Venus wants to give good recognition, he will keep Saturn and Rahu in check. You see what I am saying? You don't expect great recognition in Saturn and Rahu on the Dasha like you said. But they will not be that bad. So there is a big difference. Pardon me?
They won't stop.
They may not stop. But for that you have to do some analysis. Let us do that. Now how will be Venus, Saturn and Venus Rahu? So, who is the Lord of A5? A5 Lord. He is the ultimate protector of A5. Always the first house Lord is his agenda basically. The well-being is his agenda. So for first house from Lagna if you take, That planet's agenda is to keep you in good health, good state. The first house from A5, the lord of that, his agenda is to keep A5 in good state. So, Mercury is the main protector of A5. Not protector, but the main planet responsible for A5. The dispositor of A5. So, that A5 lord Mercury is a friend of Saturn and Rahu. Right? And Venus is the king of the year. He is like the boss, the CEO of the company. He is the king of the year and he is a friend of Mercury. And he, not only he is a friend of A5 lord, but he is the lord of the 6th house from Arul Lagna. And he has Argala on the 5th house. So, Venus will promote the A5 and he has Argala on A5. He wants to promote A5. Mercury wants to promote A5, being the lord of A5. So, those two planets are friends of Saturn and Rahu. So, in that situation, Saturn and Rahu will not trouble that much. They will basically compromise on their agenda of depleting A5. But not in Rahu Dasha, which was running before. Once Venus Dasha or Mercury Dasha come into picture, then Saturn and Rahu will slowly act better. They will behave better basically, so that Venus and Mercury are not offended, because they are good friends of them. But anyway, coming back, it is the Antardasha that can give him a new job. Venus Rahu is not so favorable. What about Venus Jupiter? How is it? Jupiter is second lord for who? From the 6th house? From Lagna. From Lagna it doesn't matter. When you are looking at a job, end of job or getting a job, for ending the job, look at markers from the 6th house. No, you missed it then. He took Venus to be a marker for a job. Yeah, seventh lord, but not because of being seventh lord, for being the second lord from 6th house. That is why he was marker for the career. Yeah, that is true. But we are looking at marka for service, not for marka for him. Okay? So, Jupiter is in the second house. What does second house show? It is the house of resources. Dashansha second house is always a house that shows lot of resources. And he is very strong there. He actually has a Rajyoga with Ketu. Does he have a Rajyoga with Ketu? Lagna Lord and 6th Lord. Together, there is a Rajyoga between Jupiter and Ketu. You were saying some butt point. What is it? We will look for A5 also, but first, he is the 5th Lord. He is the 5th Lord. 5th Lord's ultimate agenda is to give recognition. So, 5th Lord, irrespective of where he is placed from A5, 5th Lord is also giving recognition. And now the thing is, he is not only 5th Lord, but he is aspecting A5. So, he is quite capable of giving recognition. So, when you look at 5th Lord, if he has any connection with the 5th from Arudha Lagna or A5, he can give recognition. So, actually, this period is a very favorable period. Though there isn't much time. The period February 6 to 14 is a very favorable period. Then, February 14 to 27. Oh, actually there is time. February 14 to 27 is a very favorable time. Venus Jupiter. What else? Is Venus Rahu favorable for getting an offer? Getting a new job? Venus Rahu. Anybody thinks Venus Rahu can give a new job? Quite unlikely, right? Everybody agrees? Rahu is in the 8th house from Lagna.
But how about this? Jupiter has aspect of Rahu and Saturn.
Yeah?
Not of the state.
Yeah?
By aspecting,
Yeah?
Jupiter aspecting any management is still neutralized state.
Yeah? Yes? Okay, we can neutralize. Yeah?
They will have to promote.
Okay. A5 Lord, they are friends with A5 Lord, they are friends with Venus.
So Rahu, even though he have to not only respect Venus, but Venus
but grudgingly listen to Jupiter also.
Yes.
Possible. There is some possibility that Rahu may give the result, but who is a stronger possibility? Rahu is a possibility. Jupiter, Venus. Aren't they two stronger possibilities than Rahu?
So we have to take with respect to Venus and other variables. Actually, if you think about it.
Yeah, think about it. Please think about it. Yeah.
In March, we have not analyzed March. Right now, it is January, starting March today.
Yeah.
Starting March today. We cannot analyze March.
Yes. How is Mars? Yes. Yes, please. How is Mars?
March is 6th Lord.
Yeah.
That is the Lagna Lord.
Means Lagna Lord. Lagna and 6th Lord. In the 11th house.
And we sitting in A7 and A2.
Yeah.
So A2 is the house handling resources.
Yeah.
And A7, even though it is break, it also means connection. Resources is there.
Yeah. It can show all the.
March is also favorable, but it is source for business. A7 is for business.
Yeah.
So the reason I wanted to
But he is also 6th Lord and aspecting 6th house and 6th house. 6th Lord aspecting 6th house can give a recognition for service. So there is theoretically, just based on astrological analysis, Mars is quite possible. But I ruled him out because there isn't much time. I just assumed that he is not trying yet. So even to type the resume, being a Aquarius Lagna person, it will take him some time to type resume, so it will be a week. Huh? Right. Well, he can try. He can start now. For all you know, theoretically, he can suddenly get a call tomorrow. He may go day after tomorrow. He may get a job after 4 days. That is possible.
there are two possibilities. One
Now the thing is, the only thing that you have to keep in mind is, pardon me? Yeah, look at the bhoga. If you look at Venus, Mars bhoga, where is it? From Venus to Mars is 3rd house. From Mars to 3rd house is Lagna. It's possible Lagna. So Mars giving a new possibility, new beginning is quite possible. So had he come to me 1 month back and asked me, I would have definitely considered this very seriously. But now, just a few more days. Basically,
motivates him to write his resume now. The
Pardon?
March is one that gives like energy.
yes.
So you write his
Do write your resume and send it out. Yes, communication. Yeah, seriously, yeah. Yes.
So see, there is one more thing.
And also it is in A7. It has A7 in it. So somebody that you know, some previous colleague, there may be gains because of him. You may not join a job, but there may be a new connection. A7 is basically networking. And it is also for business like we said earlier, but business is nothing but networking. But networking is not just business. There is more to networking. When you are doing job search, A7 is very important. 7th house is your friend, your colleague. A7 is tangible manifestation of your relationship with those people. So that relationship is being used by Mars, being put to use by Mars for Virgo. Virgo is mercurial sign. So again, communication. So you will communicate with if you know any people who worked at your company and left in the past, or any other friend, send your resume to friends. This is a period that is favorable not to headhunters but for some gains to friends. So somebody can put your resume at a good place during the time. So do that.
If you start from Mars,
Yeah.
Mars, regularly we can promoting the agenda.
Yeah.
A5 agenda.
Yes.
Now Saturn is because of the Jupiter aspect. Saturn may not promote. Saturn and Rahu may control their urges to the interior.
Yeah.
So that may be the least favorable of all the
Yes. For all you know, in Saturn Dasha, they may come back and say, well, we like you. We will give you some more time, but you have to do some more things.
But okay.
Such things are possible in
The
Saturn.
company in his present job,
Yeah.
they're giving him only 1 month notice, but you know, okay, we saw that saying we will give you more time and
Yes,
so on
yes.
and so forth. So various other reasons plus
Yes.
recognition.
Yeah.
But he also stated already that he has made up his mind.
Yeah.
Even if they change their mind, he probably will
Yes, yes.
continue doing it.
Yes. Probably that's what they are expecting. They probably don't want to lay him off. They just want to give him a month. Hopefully they think that he will find a job in a month, and then they will get somebody cheaper.
That's a good point.
They don't have to pay to the people.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
not related to the company.
Yeah. Yeah.
More of a state structure which are not happy. Not helpful to them.
Yeah.
Same job can be done with cheaper.
Yeah. Yeah,
They want to get rid of me and get a new guy.
yeah. That is quite possible. So in that case, basically, they may when it's coming to the end of month, basically they may say, okay, we'll give you some more time. We are happy, but you have to still improve. Such things are possible in Saturn. Saturn can give some recognition and or some withdrawal of bad recognition. That is possible in Saturn and the Dasha. But I don't honestly think it's an Antardasha that can give a new beginning, a new job. But Jupiter and Venus are very strong candidates for giving a new job. Both of them are very good candidates. But you should send your resume out in March. Don't wait till a month and see what happens.
No, I'm not already started networking.
Very good. Network aggressively. Yes. Network like Mars. Every day when you wake up, think of Mars. Red dot.
Venus means Lakshmi.
Yes.
Then it will be very.
Yeah. So there is a suggestion to you. Yes. Go ahead. Tell me.
Because Venus Lakshmi.
Yeah. He said that because Venus Dasha is running in this particular year, and he is the ruler of the year, most important planet for the whole year. So most important event of the whole year will happen during January 6th and March 22. Yes. That's a good.
Light-hearted suggestion. Symbol for target. Is red behind the arrow.
Yeah.
So you can apply it in target. I was about to ask him to send a resume. In fact, I was thinking Oracle also red signal. Red sign.
Okay, forget it. Navamsa he wanted to see. Yes. Moon is the Amatyakaraka. You want natal chart or annual chart? Annual chart. Yeah. We are just looking at this year. Venus Dasha is running, so Ketu Venus is also from this year. So you can see here. If for example you see that, let's say in this particular year chart, let's say Navamsa, Atmakaraka and Amatyakaraka are in visual 8, let us say. And the 10th lord of the Rashi chart, let us say, is also placed in the Dhisthana from Amatyakaraka. You can suspect there will be some trouble in his career during this year. In that case, you can tell him to pray to the Palan Devata derived from that chart. Or even directly Amatyakaraka, you can tell the planet and tell him to pray to that planet. So, if you have, that is for the lifelong worship. But if you have any concern during this particular year, you can make a recommendation based on this year Devata, Amatyakaraka also. So let us see who is the Amatyakaraka. Who did I say? Moon. So how are planets? Actually, who is Atmakaraka is Jupiter. So Atmakaraka Jupiter, Amatyakaraka Moon are together. In Rashi they are in trine. In Dashamsa also, if you remember, they are in trine, equal trine. In Navamsa they are again in mutual trine. They are actually together, giving Gajikesari Yoga. A moon in one house, or Jupiter who is in exaltation. They are giving Gajikesari Yoga. So there is a very nice yoga. Navamsa is the most important chart. This is your protection, the inner protection, the protection from the gods, the protection from Purva Karma. So that is very important. So in the Navamsa, the very fact, forget Venus, actually he is also well placed, but forget Venus. The very fact that Amatyakaraka is in one house with Atmakaraka, exalted Atmakaraka, means this is a very good year. Very good year for career. Very important year. And how is Venus, the ruler of the year? How is he in Navamsa? He is exalted in the 10th house. If a planet is exalted in 10th house in Navamsa, can he give fortune in career? Absolutely. Okay? So because of it, now, whatever we saw based on Dashamsa is being enhanced by Navamsa. So, we can be confident that Venus Dasha itself will solve his problems and give him a good job. Seriously start looking for it. And now recommendation. Which Devata will you recommend? Okay. Lakshmi, he says Lakshmi. Why? Because Venus exalted in the 10th house. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Okay, good. Anything else? Anything else? Anything else? Yes, that's what I was going to say. Moon and Jupiter in Lagna and Venus exalted, Sun exalted. This is basically Srirama's Rathithad is coming in your Navamsa. Forget Lagna. I'm saying taking Amasyakarka as Lagna. Taking Amasyakarka as Lagna in Navamsa, there are some combinations like in Srirama's chart. So there are some blessings of Rama that's still visible as far as Amasyakarka is concerned. So this is not based on tradition or any classic. This is just an intuitive suggestion. Just take the name of Rama. It will be good for you. Yes, yes. Lot of planets. Not everybody. Mars is not. Yeah. Yeah. So take the name of Rama. Pray to Sri Rama and pray to Lakshmi also, but pray to Sri Rama. Yeah. Sita Rama. Pray to Sita Rama during this year. Rama's blessings will come to you. Yeah. That way, but what he said is the sixth is aspected by exalted Venus. And he is in the 10th house. He is the fifth lord of recognition. And in Dashamsa, he is showing all those things like we discussed earlier. In the Rashi, he is the Karyasha for career. He is the 10th lord. And he is the ruler of the year. So because of all those reasons, any planet aspecting also becomes important, not just the lord. So exalted Venus aspect, so Venus. And also he is running Venus Dasha. So for that reason, praying to Venus is good. And for Venus, you pray to Lakshmi. And you can pray to Kamalastika, Tara, all those Mahavidyas. But Mahavidyas are not for getting a job or all these trivial things. For that, pray to other forms of Devi. If you pray to Mahavidya, Vidya is knowledge. Mahavidya is great knowledge, supreme knowledge. What is supreme knowledge? The knowledge of how the software works or how to use astrology or what is the meaning of Upanishads, that's not supreme knowledge. That is all knowledge that you can learn from books. Supreme knowledge is that which you cannot learn from anybody else. That only from inside it comes. That is the only supreme knowledge. And that knowledge is given by Mahavidya. That is the knowledge that makes you mukta, that makes you unbonded. That is the knowledge lack of which keeps you bound, and presence of which liberates you. That is the knowledge Mahavidya gives. Asking them Tara or Kamalastika for anything else is unnecessary. So here for Venus you may just want to take Lakshmi or any form of Lakshmi like Lakshmi, Sita, etc. Take Sita and take Rama also because of Rama's coincidence here. Take the name of Sita and Rama, take a picture of Sita and Rama, pray to Sita Rama, and then it will be very, very auspicious for you. Do that and then start sending your resume. Before you type your resume, pray to Sita Rama, say Sri Rama and Sita Rama, and then type the resume. Again, take the name, read Rama Stotram or some slokas of Rama, and then send the resume. And even when you are going to the interview, pray to Rama. During this whole couple of months, keep Sita and Rama in there. They will bless you.
Relocation is possible.
Okay. The question is relocation. Is it possible? Basically, keep throwing another monkey ring. Is relocation possible?
I have one question before that.
Okay.
As a recommendation concerned, we recommend also to recite the Jyotirlinga corresponding to 6,000 Dashamsa.
Yes, you can. Go to the natal Dashamsa and
So it will be meant to net only or it will be the
natal is better. Okay.
One more question.
Yes.
So like you said, use Mahavidya for supreme knowledge.
Yeah.
So not in case of Karnataka here, but in case of education, some result countries or caste education.
Yeah.
So next year do you use education related to India, do you suggest generally we use Mahavidya for
In my view, don't suggest Mahavidya for most people. Mahavidyas are inapplicable to most people. Mahavidyas are only for those who are on the Moksha Marga, but not quite there. They will take the person close to Moksha. So it is only for that purpose that for which we use Mahavidya. We just want somebody to learn well, even if it's just normal knowledge. Durga can give knowledge, Saraswati can give knowledge, Lakshmi can give knowledge. There are so many different forms. Rajarajeswari can give knowledge, Sita can give knowledge, Lakshmi can give knowledge. You have all these forms.
One is the Devata, Vishnu form that was often highly
Haikriva is very good for knowledge. Yeah, so you can pray to Haigriva. Somebody, if you think Vishnu's form is appropriate, you can pray to Haigriva. You can, Shiva gives knowledge. You can pray to Shiva, you can pray to Krishna. So there are so many other devatas that you can describe as far as knowledge is concerned. So for that, just because Mahavidya has Vidya in the name, and somebody came to you for knowledge, you may not want to recommend Mahavidya. Yes. Yeah.
I see there is a Hanumanti in the temple,
Yes.
and what Hanumanti temple in the represented in the Sufi party. So the Sangha, it will be in the three river that is given.
Yes.
Like the Sufi.
Yes.
But in the Rafi from the sun, so do you see will it extend to it or will not?
It will as far as career is concerned. As far as Rashi, as far as overall physical existence is concerned, he is happy, healthy, 9 degrees, 2 degrees, yeah. He is happy, healthy, relaxed, comfortable, feels very powerful, etc. That is the overall physical existence. Overall, when he operates in the physical world, he is happy, he is very blissful, etc. But as far as career is concerned, Sandesha will give mysterious results. So there will be some instability, some pressure, some new situations that he is getting used to, etc. will be given in the mysterious. Pardon me? 8th and 11th house. So some gains, some changes, changing situations, instability, all those results will be given by Sun. So based on the divisional chart of interest, and if you look at Navamsha, Navamsha is a chart of overall fortune. If you look at Navamsha, Sun is exactly in the 11th house. So quite good. He is third lord. For a malefic, ownership of third is good. If a malefic owns third and occupies 11th, excellent. In exalted and two. So the thing why I looked at Navamsha is the fact that Sun is giving mixed results, who is the 8th lord, can show some changes also. It can show instability or lot of changes happening in the workplace and lot of pressure. Maybe because he joined a new job recently. That is possible. But it is also possible that there is a problem as soon as he goes to the new job. So I wanted to see Navamsha because Navamsha is the real protection. So if Sun is well placed in Navamsha, he won't give any worry. So that's why I looked at the Navamsha. Yes, in the Dashamsha you see, they are together. So Sandesha will give Mercury's result, Mercury's Dasha will give Sun result. So Sandesha will end up giving lot of instability, lot of changes, because he is the 8th and 11th lord, lot of pressure. So when he goes to the new job, it will take me a while to get adjusted. Basically the entire Sandesha will be adjusted. And then Moon Dasha will come. Moon is in the 6th house, he is in Aries, a very dynamic sign, and he is Amartyakaraka. And he is in a trine from Arpakaraka. So during that Dasha he will start, his routine will fall into place, there will be a nice routine, and he will be working, overcoming obstacles. But in Mitri Dasha, what to do, how to do, everything is still falling in place. That is why it is 8th house, not 6th house. Any other?
So one question I have is in Navamsha,
Yeah.
and in Amartyakaraka, Arpakaraka together with Yoga.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes.
the question I was having in my head was, is it possible that in you beginning the only service or business?
Yeah, for that we better see Dashamsha, we already saw. We saw that Rashi is stronger. Some kind of contracting kind of thing is possible, but mostly service, not working for somebody else. And by the way, Venus is Putrakarka. You were earlier discussing Venus influence on the 5th house, A5, etc. is also Putrakarka. Putrakarka is important for recovery. He is basically for following. And if somebody likes you and somebody takes a liking for you, basically, for that Putrakarka is relevant. Even though he is not your son or follower, still the fact that somebody likes you, for that Putrakarka is important. There is a part of somebody's soul which has affinity to your soul, which likes to follow it. So that is why he likes you. So that is shown by Putrakarka. So Venus has, apart from the points we made earlier, Venus is Putrakarka. So that is also good. And in Navamsha, Atmakarka, Amatyakarka are together, and Putrakarka is in a trine. Atmakarka, Putrakarka in mutual trines is very good. Amatyakarka and Putrakarka in mutual trines is very good. So it shows getting good recognition, etc. So the Venus Dasha that started badly on a bad note, it may actually turn out to be for good. So all the best and pray to Sitarama. Okay. Any other suggestions or comments anybody wants to give? Actually, already it's also will close. Yeah, we'll relocate from this place. The class. Yeah.
Thank you for all of it. I'll update the class.
All the best. Okay, we'll finish the. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Yes, please.
Last year for the something we started for the Gurukul Made we did a vote.
Yeah.
And I think it was a good surprise for National last year.
Yeah.
So on this year, if you don't do it, I think
That will be a good surprise.
I think it's a different surprise, and I don't think the surprise is good. So, taking from that angle, I think we want to start off seriously on that note, because if we have now here the lesson 50 days, so if we take from 46 to 60, the 15 lessons, and go to the next 2 months, then we can make the next 15 and do it in the following month. So that will set us as the agenda. Otherwise, in the last year we did work really hard in the last 3 months, so like 4-5 hours somebody will support us and spend almost every, I think I can say about 6 hours a week for about 3 months, 3 months, 3 months. So it will concern knowledge. Thanks for the help. This time what we do, we will just we take the lesson and forcing it. No, I mean,
No, warranty, you don't have.